Hey, everybody. Justin. This week on Deprogrammed, Jennie, Peter, Ryan, and I were talking about Tame Impala, and somehow we got on the conversation of Third Eye Blind and how their first album made it impossible to listen to them afterwards. And here is part of the conversation that came from that.
I just thought of one that kind of fits the topic you're talking about.
Yeah.
Block Party. Did anyone ever listen to Block Party?
I remember them. I never got into them, but I remember
one
them.
album called Silent Alarm, which was huge for me. Love every track on it. And then I gave the next album like a shot, and they did change their sound a lot, but man, I just always come back to that first record.
Actually, I have a really good example because I listened to Block Party about the same time as this other band. And actually, I think Intimacy was one of the other ones that I remember really liking. Weekend in the
Really?
City is actually like my favorite one of theirs.
Oh, see, yeah, I didn't get into it that much, but the sound definitely went more, I guess, electronic, whereas that first record was like straightforward indie rock.
Yeah, I mean, I can definitely see if they changed the sound of what you like about them. I didn't realize they were still coming out with albums. I'm gonna have to look into this. Maybe put them on the list. I don't know.
I feel like there's a spreadsheet for that now.
Yeah, there is. So I was listening to Block Party in like 2008 or so. About the same time I was listening to this band called the Fratellis. They came out with this album that was just a fucking banger. Like it was so fucking good. It was just wall to wall good. And I was like, I can't wait for their next. I mean, I used to listen to it so much that like I knew every freaking word, and like I would play it on Rock Band without even looking at the lyrics, and like knew every word by heart, you know. And then the next album came out, and I was like, oof, this is a stacker.
The album you're talking about had like a bunch of like pinup girls on it or something.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, I'm familiar with that one. Probably the only one I know by them.
They came out with like 2 or 3 more after that. The other ones were okay, but man, like what a letdown after that first one. Like was just so good. And it was just the next one was just okay. Like it kind of went from very like garagey and dirty and like you could hear this music being played in a dirty bar in Scotland. And then the next one was kind of like a little bit more produced and a little bit more poppy almost sounding. And it just lost its edge to me. And I was just a stack of shrugs.
That's always tough because you don't know if it's, I mean, is it that their debut album was that good, or you know, could that second album been as good if you didn't hear the first one? You know, it's all relative to how it resonates with a person,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
because
I mean,
you have these expectations after the first album, and then they might change their sound up, like you said, it might get a little more polished. It just doesn't click the same way as what came before it.
right. I did try to go back and revisit it later, and I think just the disappointment of, you know, their debut album being so good to me, and then the next one just being it wasn't even like a shift in the sound. It was just, I don't know how like they just, I don't know. They just lost their balls or something in between. Like I don't know how else to put it. Yeah. And I think I just couldn't get past the disappointment of like, oh yeah, I remember when it was like, I was looking forward to this and it wasn't as good. Oh crap. Oh. And they even came out with an album like last year, and it was okay. Like I would 100% recommend anybody listen to them and check it out. But it's a tough thing for me, man, because I was.
So basically, no, go ahead, Peter.
I was gonna say, I'm pretty sure I would like Weezer a lot more if I had never heard Blue or Pinkerton. Like if I only heard the records after that, I'd be like, yeah, it's a great band. It's just every time I hear something new, I I have to compare it to Blue or Pinkerton. I'm just like, this is just not as good.
There you have a discussion on bands that we loved their first record and never went back to. You'd like to hear the rest of that? It's After the Fact, number 55, on Patreon. Patreon.com/ohhijustin. $1 a month gets you in the door and gets you so much content, ladies and gentlemen. And if you'd like to hear our discussion on Tame Impala, Deprogrammed hits every podcast platform every Thursday. Subscribe, rate, comment, and share.